So I'm writing this new book about galactic Earth beings, and most of you know that I'm a channel, and most of the books are channeled. They're not even they're not even written from the me, from the egoic me, and so I learn as I bring in information for the books. This is book number 9, and we'll put a link here. It's not published yet. Why would I put a link? It's not published yet. But anyway, I will when it's published, and it's due to be published probably late April. I still have a ways to go. I think I'm still working on maybe 7 chapters. That 7 chapters aren't complete yet. And then it's a matter of editing it, getting it formatted, and all of that stuff before I can publish it. But what I wanted to share with you is that some new information has been shared with me lately. The information came in during a session that I had with someone, actually with the family, and so it was quite involved. But there was information that came in that I wanted to share with you. And so I'm stumbling around with my words, and that happens sometimes when the beings are all talking to me at the same time, and I'm trying to form words while they're all talking to me. It's not easy. Anyway, so we are taught in our energy healing box of magic, we're taught about rebuilding our energy body, right? Some people see it as an egg shape around your body, and it's your energy body, and that's what happens to you. Everything comes into your energy body before it comes into your physical body, filters down into your physical body. And so we are taught how to go in and repair our energy body. Most of you, at least most of you who have come to this body of work, know how to do that. What we're not taught, though, is about the grids that we are comprised of, that surround us. And so it's not just our physical body, it's also extends out into our energy body. And our Vedic medicine talks a little bit about, when they talk about the meridians, right? They talk about the meridians, and then there is your blood system, the blood vessels that run through your body, the organs, the different organs that your body is made of, and your intestines. I mean, science and some of the energy systems will talk about that. But again, what they don't talk about is the grid lines. Not only does the earth have grid lines, but humans, all living things, are comprised of grid lines. And the grid lines are, I don't know, the beings described it to me as electrical systems, components. They connect, they bring in frequencies, they attract things, they deflect things, right? And so they had me draw this out so that I could show people what I was talking about. So this is the diagram that I drew out for to be included in the book. So this is what your grid line system should look like. That's what it should look like. And I know that for me, I had gone to an ayahuasca ceremony at one point, and I could see the grid lines. I could see the lines of energy, the connections between all things. And also there was one time when I had done psilocybin ceremony, and the same thing happened. I could see the grid lines, only this time it was, between the star systems. But this is what it looked like for me, right? The interconnecting lines of energy and frequencies. And on this diagram, you can see where they connect, where it looks like dots, right? So you can see the interconnectedness of all of that. That's what I see when I look at everything. I can see, that's what I can perceive, because I don't really see, but I know they exist, and I know when they're broken. And so that's where we're going with all of this. So I want to share with you how to look at your grid system and how to repair it and how to reinforce it. That's what I want to share in my crazy way of talking in circles. And so what I'd like to ask you to do is to close your eyes, take a breath, and just release. And now I want you to ask to see your grid system. And you may see it from the perspective of looking outward. Everybody perceives differently. You might also, if that doesn't work for you, and I'm not suggesting that one, because you need to be able to see it as an overall perspective, just like the drawing, right? So what I'd like to ask you to do is to see an image of yourself, as if you were standing outside looking in at yourself. And yes, you'll have to back up and stand far away enough that you can see 360 degrees of your body, including your energy body, right? So you may have to back up a little bit. But what I want to ask you to do, or what the beings want to ask you to do, is to notice those grid lines as much as you can. And for me, I see them as they're fluorescent. They're almost fluorescent lines of green or blue or gold or white, however you perceive them. And they say fluorescent because they're living organisms, okay? These are living organisms, and so they're going to be, fluorescent's the only English word I can come up with. Fluorescent, luminescent. They're going to be luminescent, right? So if you could imagine the luminescence of them, because again, they are living, they're not dead. So get a perception of that. And now what they want you to do is to go around 360 degrees, which is not just around, but also front to back, right? Side to side, as if you would see an atom rotating. And you want to do that. And you want to notice any of those rods that are not connected properly, any of those that are missing, any rods that are completely missing, rods or lines of energy, whatever you want to call those, that are completely missing, any of those that are distorted, any of those, in other words, none of them are going to be bent. None of them are going to be circular. They should be straight rods that are interconnecting. In my vision, they're all straight rods that interconnect, or lines of energy that connect. So any that are missing, any that are broken, any that are misshapen, with your imagination, repair those. They want you to pay particular attention to the bottoms of your feet and also to your crown. And to what would be considered your chakra areas. Your energetic bodies. And they want you to just take some time and go around and make those corrections, make those repairs. And while you're doing that, I'm going to bring in some frequencies and codes and downloads of information to kind of give you an extra, a little extra. Behentai el uinti keha mo me bianti eleote bekea ohi asht eli atioka gobiinti eleo ndabahata en maanta eleiki eo momovi paya shala shele beete ahlai enke okoi me mu imini ini ulabaya tayele ekiukai Sho topehan dayele o eneme endo olo dobean dayele eti ko o mamayana anayana echele eti kalaye unduhuima bo ipi andahiana amoimba yenenimi itu. And when you're complete with that, and you can always come back to this video if you haven't been given enough time. When you're complete with that, they want you to consider installing a little extra security, so to speak. So they want you, whatever stones you work with, whatever stones and metals you currently work with, they're encouraging you to install those into your grids, into your fields. Like for instance, I wear stones as a bracelet, right? You don't have to. You could just install them into your fields, and I have, but I like wearing these. But I don't have to anymore, right? And so they want you to consider, like for me, for instance, I work with 4 primary stones that I work with: shungite, black tourmaline, hematite, and selenite, and then the metal of copper. I work with those primarily because of the work that I do to protect my fields, to keep things out that shouldn't be in there, in other words. And so and I won't bother to tell you what the properties are of those stones. You can look it up. But I work with those 4 primary stones and the metal of copper. And so when I was reinforcing my fields, I inserted rods, lines of energy of those stones in different areas that I felt needed a little bit of extra protection and security. And then also I had installed other stones, that I was called, just that came to my intuition or my inner knowing that I needed these at this particular time. And I don't remember what they are right now. And so, but just a list of stones that you may consider if you're looking at wanting to reinforce your ability to manifest. You may put in, stones that are green: adventurine, jade, fluorite, peridot. You may want to add in some citrine, right? You may want to add in diamond. Like apophyllite for seeing, for connecting in. I forgot what that other stone is called. Anyway, epidote is coming to mind. But just, stones that you currently work with or you want to bring into your energy system to reinforce or to accentuate or, introduce into your energy system. You can create rods, lines of energy of those in your grid, right? Not necessarily to replace anything, but to add in. Because when you replace, then you are actually um, deleting something that you require. So don't replace, just add in. Also, most recently, they gave me the information for materials like jet. So jet is a stone that repels ghosts, or not repels, what's the word? Disencourages ghost from, or discarnates from coming into your field. So jet is an important one, especially for people who are doing spiritual work. Also, they were recently talking to me about plutonium for some reason, and you'd have to look up what the properties of that are. And they were saying that in particular, dark energies doesn't like the energy of uranium. I don't know. I would just know what I'm told. Anyway, so I incorporated those things in, and so just do some research or listen to your intuition and see which stones are metals or properties. Of course, there's always gold and silver, right? For gold, silver, diamond, for manifestation, for prosperity and abundance. Those would draw in that into your fields of energy, and so those are things that you might want to consider. So that's what I wanted to share with all of you. Give me some feedback, positive feedback, please. Negative feedback is never appreciated. And I will delete those. I will delete those comments because negative is not, it's not appreciated. It's not warranted. And it's ugly. So don't do it. Okay. Keep it positive. So thank you all for listening. I hope that this helped you in some kind of way. And check back.